Trump appears to be putting Taiwan on hold as Washington prepares for a high-stakes summit with China's Xi Jinping. Concerns over Beijing's red lines may be one reason a potential Trump-like conversation remains off the table. Taipei is still waiting for a call and new arms decisions as Trump focuses on managing ties with Beijing. As U.S. China diplomacy intensifies, Beijing's Taiwan demands are once again shaping the agenda. Trump is not expected to speak with Taiwan's leader anytime soon as Washington carefully manages its ties with Beijing. Sources say there has been no meaningful progress toward arranging direct contact between Trump and Lai Ching-te. U.S. officials reportedly fear that a Trump-like call could complicate an upcoming summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Washington appears focused on preserving the recent thaw in relations between the world's two largest economies. Despite the delay, Taiwan says it remains ready for direct engagement with the White House at any moment. Taipei also insists that delays in U.S. arms sales are technical in nature and do not reflect a change in policy. Trump is expected to host Chinese President Xi Jinping in Washington later this year for a closely watched summit. Beijing has long viewed Taiwan as the most sensitive and non-negotiable issue in its relationship with the United States. Officials believe a high-profile call with Taiwan's leadership could disrupt preparations for the U.S. and China meeting. Analysts say Washington is avoiding steps that could trigger a fresh diplomatic crisis with China ahead of the summit. Multiple reports indicate that no major new U.S. arms sales to Taiwan are expected in the immediate future. Several military aid packages are reportedly awaiting final approval from the White House. One reported $14 billion defense package was put on hold ahead of Trump's visit to China. The package reportedly included Patriot PAC-3 interceptors and NASAMS air defense systems. Critics warn Washington may be treating arms sales to Taiwan as leverage in its broader relationship with Beijing. Japan's accelerating military buildup is turning it into a regional powder keg, China has warned, accusing Tokyo of destabilizing the security balance in East Asia. The remarks were made by China's Defense Ministry spokesperson Chen Shi, according to reports dated June 17 that covered his regular press briefing. This came as Japan released a new defense white paper that for the first time branded China an unprecedented challenge to its security environment. In the paper, Japan vowed to counter what it calls the Chinese threat with its full comprehensive national strength, including military, economic, and technological tools. Beijing slammed Tokyo's new defense white paper as a political tool designed to justify a major rearmament drive under the banner of self-defense. China says Tokyo is using a China strategic threat narrative as a pretext to expand its military power far beyond traditional post-war limits. Beijing also pointed to Japan's recent public showcase of its Type 25 high-speed glide bomb as evidence of this trend. The Chinese official described that weapon as a substantive step toward developing genuine long-range strike capabilities that can hit distant targets. China also accused Japan of diluting its pacifist limits and easing long-standing arms export restrictions that once constrained its defense industry. Japan is revising its pacifist constitution, loosening arms export restrictions, Chen Shi claimed, arguing Tokyo is abandoning its post-war commitments. The official also warned that those claiming to feel threatened may be the source of instability, suggesting Japan's actions, not China's, are driving regional tensions. According to Chinese authorities, Japanese surveillance aircraft were detected operating near Taiwan on June 9, adding a fresh layer of tension to already crowded skies. At least 2 fixed-wing Japanese planes were spotted southeast of Taiwan, flying in areas where Chinese maritime patrols were underway. The aircraft appeared to belong to Japan's Coast Guard and were picked up by Chinese forces while they were conducting a special maritime law enforcement patrol. These developments were highlighted in regional media reports on June 10, citing detailed accounts and imagery from Chinese state outlets. Chinese sources say the first aircraft was detected at 6:15 a.m. local time and identified by its distinct tilted tail assembly, a feature associated with certain Japanese surveillance types. A second plane, bearing what were described as the signature markings of the Japan Coast Guard, was allegedly spotted later at 2:11 p.m. the same day. Both aircraft were reported to be medium or small-sized crude electronic reconnaissance platforms, designed to monitor ships, signals, and activity at sea. A Chinese military expert claimed the planes were sent to snoop around, suggesting their mission was to closely observe Chinese vessels' operations and collect intelligence. At the same time, China's own patrol in the area was described as part of a special maritime law enforcement operation, not just a routine presence. This mission reportedly began on June 6 in waters east of Taiwan and concluded on June 11, marking several days of continuous Chinese activity off the island's eastern flank. Chinese media argued the patrol was necessary in light of ongoing maritime border talks between Japan and the Philippines, implying Beijing wanted to signal its own claims and resolve. Beijing has already lodged a strong protest over those Japan-Philippines talks, accusing the two U.S. allies of ganging up to challenge China's position in the region. Since the talks resumed, China has visibly ramped up patrols east of Taiwan, reinforcing the message that it will not sit back while its neighbors coordinate maritime strategies.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.